Wayne this morning to file a case in Allen County. Tell us about the case.
This is against an Ohio-based company, Foreclosure Assistance USA. It's one of these foreclosure rescue operations that, quite frankly, have left over 600 Hoosiers hanging. So we filed this lawsuit. There's 23 people here in Fort Wayne who we believe have been scammed by this company. It goes to show that we're going to be aggressive pursuing these companies, even if they're out of state. This is an Ohio-based company. But it also acts as a warning for people not to be taken advantage of by these companies that ask for money up front in order to ask for help on their mortgage problems.
So that's what they're doing. They're asking you to pay them a fee, and
That's
then
right.
they're going to help you out of your mortgage problems.
Yes, and in fact, the Indiana General Assembly passed new laws that will take effect July 1st that requires every company that does this type of business to have a $25,000 bond registered in the Office of the Attorney General, so people can go online and check to see whether the company is legitimate or not. Quite frankly, most of these companies go out and look for people and ask for money up front that don't have these bonds in place currently. So that's one of the reasons we're filing this suit today.
So they take that money and you never hear from them again, or they don't at least follow through?
They don't follow through particularly, but what we've told people, it's against the Consumer Protection Act to ask for money up front without posting a bond. That bond goes to protect consumers in the state of Indiana. Now, under the new legislation, everybody will require to have a bond, whether they've accepted the money up front or not. But it's one of the things that we've really promoted in the office, so that there are greater protections. Companies that do business in Indiana have to have this bond in place so that an action like this, we would have been able to go after the bond to recover funds.
600 people in Indiana. Can you put a dollar figure on how much they've lost?
Well, the case we bring today, most of them have been charged anywhere from $600 to $1,200. They normally will base it on the price of your mortgage, but also on how much you've been paying each month in mortgage payments.
How long does it take to build a case like this?
Well, we have over 230 active cases that we're developing, so some of them take longer. A case like this, we found that they're actually operating under a number of other names that we've added to the list. It is an Ohio-based company, but it uses an internet site, so I think they've gone throughout the Midwest. A lot of people in Fort Wayne, I think, received mailing. Anybody who had a notice of foreclosure, which is a public record down at the courthouse, they'll send this mail out soliciting people for their services. And quite frankly, we found that they're taking advantage of people that are in desperate financial shape.
Was this something that your office uncovered, or was it somebody calling in and saying, hey,
this particular case we developed without a complaint. We did find complaints after we got the list of people who they had contacted. But we're going to have to be much more aggressive on these cases. I mean, 600 people, I would have liked to have done this well before we had 600. But we're on the 230 cases we're actively developing. Some of them don't have complaints, so we're being proactive to go after these companies that we know are out there scamming Hoosiers, even before we get a complaint.
Mm-hmm. Any estimation how long it'll take to work its way through the court system?
Well, on things like this, frankly, we've had a problem where they'll go into bankruptcy or they'll go into default. So we get judgments pretty quickly. Pursuing the judgment is usually what's hard. So it's not always successful in recovering people's money, but I think it's important that we continue to pursue people that come into the state, to go after them aggressively, and also warn the public not to be taken advantage of by people who ask for money up front to help with their mortgage problems.
And you said that sometimes they go into bankruptcy. You're talking about the company itself that you filed against.
Yes, that's often the case. They'll go into bankruptcy, possibly open up in another name. Now, there are, when we claim fraud, we can sometimes pursue through the bankruptcy. But again, those are things left in federal court if we, but more likely than not, we'll be in a bankruptcy court hearing.
Any issues on getting an Ohio company to respond to to the lawsuits?
You know, the Attorney General in Ohio also filed a complaint against this same company. So we'll work in partnership. You know, the colleagues of mine in the other states often work together on these cases. So we do work collectively, but just because they're from another state doesn't mean they're outside the reach of the Indiana Attorney General's office.
You said you felt that there were 23 people here in Allen County that had been scammed by them. How many lawsuits did you file today?
Well, this is just one, but it represents all of the cases we've got. If there's other people out there who have not filed a complaint with our office, they can go to indianaconsumer.com and file a complaint. So again, we're still soliciting people. Some of them have lost their homes, so we're having a hard time finding them. But we will try to contact as many people as we can.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You're good, you're good.
Did anybody check local rules on how many copies to file?
Did we?
Well, usually the attorney's office will check. We got enough. I'll be sure and say how efficient the Allen County Clerk's office is.
We'll take that.
You know, my license number is on, I think they told me 11,000 cases in Indiana. Wow. I guess that means I'm still practicing.
I guess so. Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
What time am I going to be on?
I think so.
There you go.
All right.